Jumps on the kick in. Quayner gets in a good position. Plays on. Finds himself in space and marks. Chris opts to play on.
Jack Cripps.
Nice hands. Slams it on the boot.
Mainly.
Opportunity once again for Collingwood to put one through. Needs a big kick if he's going to put this through. A 45-degree angle for this shot at goal.
Finland McRae's got onto a torpedo, right? And it's close, but Hawthorn take them off.
Phillips marks with a driving kick. Finds this one all by himself. Scrimshaw uses it by foot. Mitchell works under that ball. Looks to move it by foot. The ball
Holding.
its way out of play.
No, well, it's going to say deliberate then, but it's not.
This is a classic game this season right now.
Mychek thumps it forward. Mychek won the hit out. He has the ball. Mitchell puts the foot down. The boundary line wins. Ball back into play.
Collingwood got behind in the clearances, but has set up well enough defensively that it hasn't made a big impact.
Hardy gets spent it before he earned it. Hardwick won himself a free. Elects to kick. Finds a bit of room to mark. Segler kicks out of the congestion. Takes that
Segler.
Uses it across half back. Cameron leading the race to the loose ball. The ball knocked out in the tackle. Looks to move it by foot. Magic finding it in motion. Magic plays on.
See what we can do.
Intercepted. There'll be a ball up in the centre square. Thumps it clear. Hacks it out of there. Thomas dug out the loose ball. Fantastic chase and tackle. Nash, quick hands. And the umpire will ball it up. Punched away. Mitchell earns a free kick. A spearing kick. Kaczynski marks uncontested.
G'day Cody, how are you, man?
Plays on now.
You go inside 50, but
Send it back.
not 3.
He drives it. Good mark. And looks to send it back.
To Rainey.
Puts boot to ball. Great mark under. Landed in his back on this occasion.
That's good, man. That's good. So Oliver Henry from 50 meters out. Don't think I got all of that kick, but Darcy Cameron should be there. That's sweet, man. Appreciate that. And Darcy Cameron goes back and nails it. So here we go. Hello there, whoever is watching.
Back with another centre bounce. Grundy clears the contest.
Finish having dinner.
The block shows the
So I had a really good dinner too.
ball up in the centre square.
Happy birthday for Wednesday, man.
I'd really love it if these teams took the contest.
Hi Bella, and that one's a poster.
And only a unsure of their next move. Hardy gets closer to himself. Nash marks in a bit of space. This is Mitchell. Wins the race to the ball. Uses the hands and gives away the free. The kick from Nash. The ball finds Hardwick.
Ah, that's good, man.
Has resources out wide. Takes a strong mark. out wide. Hardigan wants to play on. Warble could be upset with that. I haven't seen him for a while, Gaz.
He's barely touched the ball, though.
Doesn't hold on to the mark. Mitchell needs to lift.
Yeah, he's having a real quiet match, Hunter.
Landed in his back on this occasion. We're down to the last minute and a half. Grundy sets his sights. 60 metres out. Going for goal number one. Ends up turning this ball over. Moved on by Hardwick. An easy grab for Grimshaw. Goes with the kick. Easily.
Oh, because I'm doing the, what do you call it?
Looks to get onto the football.
A match center I'm on.
Finds his man. Slams it onto the boot.
I feel your pains, mate.
Does it alone. Unbelievable.
It's the same meal.
And it ends. Gets some. The game is back underway. Thump clear. We'll get a stoppage.
I've witnessed one premiership in my lifetime.
Gets onto the ball.
And I love to see more than one.
Takes possession. Kicks out of the congestion. Marks all alone.
Hawthorn fans get to see 4 premierships, and I wish I saw that in Collingwood. I really do.
Going for goal number one.
So it's a goal here for the Hawks.
Grimshaw enjoying that goal. The Hawks reduce the margin.
That's a really good...
Back in the middle to resume play now. Swats it.
Okay, so
Ball. Hurried kick.
let's see what we can do.
I haven't seen him for a while, Gaz.
He needs to find a way into this game.
Still finding a way through. Hanrahan, is this the moment? Oh, what about that? That was really
Okay, I've got enough mods at the moment.
back in the middle now. Clears the contact.
Unless if there's a bit of trouble in it and I might need to, then I will.
What a day for Collingwood. An incredible victory.
One side just wanted it more, and they
It's
deserve
just that I've had a bit of trouble with some people.
Final scores are 123 to 117. That's it for
Yeah, it
us.
was.
See you again
Coming
next
from 3 points down.
and we'll catch you next week.
Which I was always going to do anyway. Alright. Let's see what we can do. Yes, it was. Even though I was doing AFL game day. So, we're doing single match. Oh. Tons of it, so. Alright, now, let's get to it. I'm pretty sure I am. Alright, let's see. Cody C. Now I am. Okay, I thought it wasn't. I thought it was, but it wasn't. That makes sense. 4 people in the chat. Thank you. What else do I feel like doing? Yes. Very appreciate the support and love that you guys give. Manual. Oh, that's not good. Over Henry, Jordan going. He's the midfielder. Alright, let's see how we go. If you want to, you don't have to. You can do whatever you need to do. Come back if you want to. Alright, cool, man. There's some more content coming out tomorrow morning about, I think it's 11 or 11:30. What it is, it's just the play ranks video for Trent Bianco. Let's see what people think of it as well.
And footy fans around the nation are finally able to get their footy itch scratched. Match. Collingwood looking ready as they.
It's a bit hard when I'm living at my parents'.
Really looking forward to
I
seeing
don't
how
have
they play together.
a laptop that I can do it.
It's a big midfield battle today. Whichever team can get on top in the middle of the ground will walk out winners today.
The captains converge for the toss of the coin.
I'm gonna change it so there is crowds. I forgot to do it.
Collingwood wins the toss.
Yeah, but I can't go live on my iPad. It's gotta be connected to YouTube.
Here we go. Won the hit out. Edwards keeps coming. Wants to keep it moving. Handball's under pressure. The handball now from Lynch. Chard hit the man hard. Puts on a big hit. Lynch puts on a bump. Bolter down. The handball hits the target. Kicks in heavy traffic. Ball off hands. Adam gathers it now. Ball gets cut off. Intercepts the ball well. Looks up with a kick. Stuck the mitts out there and held onto it. Bangs it on the boot now. Nankervis runs after the ball. A strong mark in the pack from Revolt. Links with hands. Lambert getting
Also,
in on the
if you can share the
Hodgson
video
was taken
around,
high in
Bella,
the
if you're
tackle.
still watching.
Goes by foot. Bolton with an easy mark.
Yeah, because they've been in the stream. And they've been constantly in here as well.
Bolton to have the shot from outside 50. Bolton has resources out wide.
Because
And the ball
we've been
bounces
having
across
trouble.
the boundary line.
I know who
It'll be a throw.
I know who you
Can you tell us
are.
anything at the
So
moment, Gav?
if there's someone that
It's
does
a really
make a
good
fake
contest out there
account,
right now, and it's great to watch.
we can make you mod.
He has to hold on to those. Gathered by Maynard. Collected by Graham. Pendlebury collects it. Gets past the tackle. The ball finds itself to the boundary. The umpire will throw it back in.
I do have
Umpire
enough mods,
tosses
but
it
if
in.
I have to make you mods, so I
Grundy
know
just swats it away.
who's-
Picked up by Short. The ball mopped
if
up.
there is
Finds the
more
loose
trouble
ball. He flicks
with
it over. Martin
a
goes to number
certain
one.
with certain
Nurses that
people,
ball through
then
the
I will
big
make you
sticks.
mod.
The game is back underway. Grundy won the hit out. Hacking it out of there. Elliott gains possession. Elliott failed to get rid of it. Moves it by foot. Brioli leading the race to the loose ball. Ends up turning this ball over. Flostone moves it now. Doing well with the mark. Works it across the ground. A chance to gather the ball. A clean pickup.
The reason why Bella is mod is because we've had trouble with
Ball
people
up in the centre
making
square.
fake accounts of her.
Guides it down. There'll be a ball up in the centre square. Thrashes it. Graham picks up the loose ball.
Alright,
Hit the
see you,
man
man.
hard.
Fantastic tackle.
It's a turnover. Turned it over. The umpire will ball it up. Won it down. Ball up on the outer side wing. Slapped away. A chance for Cochin. Dacos collects the loose ball. My ball, says the umpire. Grundy got a fist to it. Wants to take them on. Finds a way around the
Taylor
tackle.
Adams did really well, gets a kick forward.
Wins the race to the ball. Slams it
Mason
on the
Cox,
boot.
beautiful kick to John
Finds a
DeGoey, and you'll go back and kick it, you think.
30 metres out. DeGoey comes in to level the scores.
Now this is a new stream.
Look at them celebrate that effort.
Yeah, I
The
just
umpire
did a
set
new
the bounce to
stream
restart
because
the game. Thump
I had to
clear,
have a
kicks
shower
hurriedly.
and dinner was ready as well.
Howe dropped what he should have taken. Anything standing out at the moment for you, Gaz?
This is a great game, Hutto, and we can just sit back and enjoy.
I didn't want you
The
guys
clock
sitting
ticks down
there,
with only 2 minutes left.
me not
Is
play
excited
games, so I
about
have to
that
go and
one.
have a
Here's
showers.
our second
So I
goal and
thought,
time to
no, I'll just end it.
about to resume hostilities. Punches it clear. The ball in the hands of Dacos. Ball gets cut off. Gets it away under pressure. Ball up call. Nankervis
Yeah.
farmed it down.
Thanks,
Made
man.
the tricky bounce look easy. Quickly onto the boot.
Same here.
Takes the mark. Richmond fans would love to see this one sail through. Spears the ball. Couldn't take it. The ball spills to Rioli. Going for goal number 1. Revo had it, lost it, made the goal umpire move. And the rough head assessing the options. Takes the mark all by himself. Wants to go. Steady hands there as he holds that one. Chooses to play on.
Bella, are you still watching or not yet?
Short throws the ball away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Going for distance with the kick. We've ticked under a minute to go. Got hands to it. Mops up the loose ball. The crowd roars.
Who's your mum?
Cox gets right in his face. Takes a few deep breaths before this important kick.
Oh, no. Oh, okay, fair
Play
enough.
on is the order from the ump. Nice mark under pressure. This should prove an easy angle for Degoe. Looking to kick goal number 2.
Yeah, no.
Just sneaks in from behind.
But we got Kruger.
Drives to
That's the
bring it back
main
into
thing.
play. Open opportunity for Glostone. Lobs the handball. Dishes it off to a player on the run.
Yeah, but Kruger can
Over
play
the top
forward
of
as
the
well.
pack, 35 metres out. Henrik will have the shot on a slight angle. A goal will see the scores all level. Collingwood supporters delighted by that effort. That's his first. Back with another centre bounce.
What's going on, man?
And we'll get a ball up. What can you tell us at this stage, Gary?
I'm liking what I'm seeing at the moment, Hutto. A great game of footy.
Over the top of the pack. Oscar Elliott with a chance if he can keep his cool. 45 metres out.
Oh, typical for them. They haven't played in that side, they're saying that.
He might kick a goal.
Oh, okay.
Off the boot.
Alright, I'm
They get around him after that effort.
So,
2 goals.
apparently,
Now they lead
6 Carlton players have decided to take a pay cut for,
yes, I saw that.
the end of the final term. Degoe, the number 1 ranked player on the ground. He's on fire.
My question is that who the hell do they have that's earning that much to be earning that enough for that amount of money to be taking pay cuts? Because I mean, except for what, you know, the first
Harry Mackay.
half a dozen. I wouldn't imagine everyone else is earning their contract.
Yeah, pretty much.
Second term.
Oh, 5 people in the chat.
We resume
Sweet.
Swatson has it now. He couldn't hang on. Gets around the pressure.
I think Colin Stevens is a good player. It's just that he's just young, so you haven't seen his full potential yet.
Outside 50.
Yeah, I think the same. I just don't know
He
why.
kind of reminds me of a bit of Parrish. And Parrish didn't really come. Oh no, who was the Essendon bloke who did well? Was it Parrish?
Yeah.
Uses it
Yeah, it wasn't like he only came on the scene literally this year.
from this.
And I think he's been in the system for about 4 years now. Why did
Yeah, I
Paul
think
Season
so.
leave us?
Away with the ball.
Yeah.
Number 1. Always looked like
Why did Paul Saban leave us? I think he got offered more money.
I mean, he was a bit injury prone at the time. Wasn't getting a lot of games.
kicks it.
He was one of those ones where I think he had a different opinion.
To Bucks.
he didn't. Like, yeah, well, not really a different opinion. He wasn't like a Buckley person.
Oh,
And
okay.
when it got to the point of, like, and this is my opinion and my take on things, he obviously fell out of love and fell, how do I put this, like, he sort of like fell out of love with the club, I feel, with just, I guess, how, like, where the direction was going.
Yeah.
And then I would have imagined that would have been him just going, okay, well, I'll just go elsewhere and play my footy there. And
He
then
has
what was
done
it,
really
Adelaide
well for
came in.
himself as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when it came to Adelaide, Adelaide came in, they gave him a whole presentation and everything about where they saw him and where they wanted him to be, and obviously I guess he appreciated that there was a lot of care and time put into him, and he obviously signed there. Because there was actually, in that time, well, I mean, at any point, because I mean, I feel the Bucks do get better when it comes to dealing with the different personalities, but he still never was good at it.
Yeah.
Um, but Bucks was good when he was in his wheelhouse, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think.
Um, and anyone that was outside of that wheelhouse, it made it very hard to,
Oh shit, yeah. G'day,
I guess,
guys.
agree to some of the things that he did or said, or anything along those lines. That's why with like Sia, if Barkley didn't get sacked this year, Sia would have definitely have either been delisted or would have been taken by another club this year. But I guess because he told the club that he wants to stay now because of Fly, and
Uh-oh.
yeah, I'll do it. Where is it?
I already did it.
Yep. Oh, he's got a
Fuck's.
few of them, has he?
Yeah, I know.
Someone's been busy. Another one.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, so back to, so what was the season we were talking about, weren't we? Or did we finish that?
No, because there was a there was a fake account.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was basically the gist of it all.
Gets a quick kick away. Off hands. Dug out the loose ball. Short puts it on the boot. A strong mark in the pack from
And yeah, that seems like it should be alright for now. Looks like it's all been done, and I think even the guys in
Eight
chat should be able to look after us anyway at this point.
Yeah, 8 people in the chat, thank you.
Yeah.
sends the drop punt on its way for another goal.
Please make sure you like the stream, share it to your mates. I forgot to share my socials, but unfortunately my phone is charging at the moment, so couldn't really do that.
Ball out of heavy traffic. Good grab there from
Yeah.
Elliott.
All good.
What's the one question, please?
5 metres out.
But yeah, like I think sometimes Buckley can ruin careers as well.
Number 1. Looks okay off the
Yeah.
boot.
Yeah, and I mean, I think over the years he got better at it, but he still,
Back in the middle as
there was still,
punched away.
it was still very clear that he was,
His opponent.
um,
Doing well to intercept that kick.
alright, I'll just go on to the next question.
For now. Great mark in the pack.
It's kind of hard to know, because obviously, like I personally think he would have been a good pickup. He would have got more opportunities than he would have at Melbourne, because I think like there's still, you know, those three tools in Brown, Tom, McDonald, and obviously Wiedemann. You know, it makes it tough for them to play every week. So in terms of that, selection would be a bit difficult for him. But then in saying that too, if he did come over here, he would have had more opportunity, and I'm sure Fly would have, you know, molded him into something very good.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And also in saying that too, I think Wiedemann is kind of going through a patch at the moment where he's just not loving his footy at the moment. And it sort of, it's probably not to the level in the sense of how serious. But it's like in that boat, but it's not as serious as what serious.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think it's the sense of Goodwin doesn't like him. He's just at that point he's just clearly the third best key forward there. And yeah, Collingwood would have loved him. We probably would have easily had him in round one. But then I think because now we've got Kruger, it makes it really interesting now with all the forwards and stuff.
I know,
if
that's...
we had Wiedemann on top of that too.
That's gonna be difficult.
Yeah. Because in saying, even though Wiedemann's probably better than... Well, potentially he's probably the better out of all those guys. You could probably maybe make a case for Checkers.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's got it.
But yeah, it's yeah, so obviously with Wiedemann, it's obviously officially it's not happening because he's on the 2 years.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's tough though because like, as someone that, I mean for me, like not that I play AFL or anything like that, but like playing like local footy and stuff, when you go through times like with like, you know, your mental health and things like that, and you know you're not having like the best of times, and you know, I mean I've never really been in a situation where like I've been dropped or anything, or you know I'm fighting for a spot every week, but because you know if I pay my subs and I play every week basically, but in saying that too, I feel like that's, you know, if you're not getting a game every week and there's a chance like every few weeks, there's a real chance that you could get dropped.
Yeah, that's
I think that also plays a big that's a big factor, I feel.
Yep.
So in terms of would he be any good, I think he would have been, because he's more developed and probably better than Kruger. I don't know, it's debatable if he's better than Checkers. But you probably, if you had to pick either Checkers or Wiedemann, that's tough.
It is.
Because Wiedemann's potential makes
How
him better
old
than
is he?
Checkers. Oh, he's like 24. If I had to take a guess.
Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot here, man. It's...
No, he'll turn 25 in June. So that's not too far off.
Okay, what about... And... Checkers is what?
Checkers is like 28, 29.
He's only got a couple of years left. Yeah, he was 26.
28, there you go.
Yeah.
He'll be 29 in February. So. Yeah, so it's kind of, I guess for Wiedemann, it's a bit sort of awkward because like, you want to be in a team that's good and that plays well, but then also you want to be in that team every week too.
Yep.
So I feel like he doesn't get both of those at Melbourne, which is probably why he entertained the Collingwood offer. But obviously he's picked it and he's obviously re-signed at Melbourne.
Did we
I guess maybe, yeah,
offer him something, or were we interested in him?
yeah, oh yeah, we definitely were. I mean, there was no like publicly there was no like official offer or anything, but we were definitely interested.
Okay. So if we had Waiterman, for example, how long of a contract would you give him, and would you play Waiterman in round 1?
Would I play Weeder in round one?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not even a doubt in my mind. In fact, even like, the thing that they probably could have done if Wiedemann came is that you make Wiedemann the key forward and you make Kruger the key back. That's that's the direction that they could have gone as well too. Because Kruger can play just as well down back, and even in the introduction video that's on the Collingwood website at the moment, he even was open to playing it, you know, either end.
Yep.
So obviously I would have imagined if Wiedemann came, he would have said the same thing. So because I think with Kruger, I think at this point he just wants to play. Like he knows he's ready. He just needs like a little bit of time to just
Hey, Lynx. Lynx away.
just to get stuck into the season itself,
Yeah.
and then just to get a bit of confidence, and then he can get his career started.
Yep.
So that will take a bit of time. But then in saying that too, I think because he's actually he's actually I don't know if you want to like compare him to Cloak, because I think he's, especially right now, he's sort of a, it's sort of like he's got the ability of like say Chris Dawes,
Yep.
but then he like really wants to play like Cloak, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it's like if Chris Dawes just went, yeah, nah, screw it, I'm gonna just play like Travis Cloak from now on. That's what I feel Kruger is. Which is interesting because you've got all those guys where you go, well, no one's really like a standout, like the best standout key forward. But because we've got like 3 of those guys like that,
Yep.
we don't have a, you know, like a trying to think of a key forward, or you know, like a Cameron or like a
Yeah,
Hawkins
pretty
and things
much.
like that. But if you have enough guys to do the job averagely, at some point the third defender has to be on someone. So I think that's where maybe we could get the upper hand somewhere. So, and then also as well, it forces teams to, you know, have their third key back on, you know, someone like a Peckers. So say if Cameron ends up playing extremely well and he's in the forward line, let's just say the best defender goes on him. But then after that, you go, okay, well, second best defender, who do I go on? Do I go on Kruger? Do I head towards Peckers? And with that, if they go to Kruger, then we got basically our best forward Checkers that has the third best defender. But then if they then go to Checkers, then Kruger's got the third best defender.
Well, that's it.
So and then that's easier for his development because Kruger's not going to have the best key back the whole game.
No, that's it. Like,
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah, I firmly believe that. Obviously, minus, you know, the normal like one, like, you know, so half a dozen players that are going to come in and out. But the majority of this team will probably stay together, and that team will. I can see us winning a premiership in 3 to 4 years. And then, I mean, obviously, Kev, you obviously made the statement of 3 and 6.
Yep.
And I mean, I fully agree. It's a bit more on the aggressive side, but at the same time, it's as far as you can go realistically and then aggressively. I
Yep.
think anything more or in a short time frame is a bit too much. But you know, if we get all these kids ready to go, I mean, they've already had a year under their belt now. By the time they, in fact, actually, what was it? It was
You're right, Hutto. He's gone missing lately.
what else? Because I think, because what year three would be.
Lots of pressure out there at the minute.
Grundy with a big
So we're looking at a premiership in around 2024, I reckon.
Greenwood. 25 metres out.
Yeah, about that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's when everyone's had an extra 3 years. Because you've got guys like Reef as well. Reef is going to be massive.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
he's just, I mean, he sort of has to develop his body a bit. I mean, I don't think Melbourne need to give us Wiedemann.
No.
We can definitely do what we need to do without him. He would definitely be good to have, but he's not like a flat out like star you have to go out and get.
The only difference as well, because there's been says in the chat about Lipinski and Kruger. I'll just say this nice and clear. The Western Bulldogs haven't played Lipinski in the second half of the season. Geelong are playing old players instead of younger players. So Kruger isn't going to get that game. We all know that for now.
Yeah.
Geelong are going to have to rebuild, and eventually it's going to be massive. So I think now that we get Kruger, it helps our forward line out. That's what we need to do. Yeah, but of course Geelong and Bulldogs fans are going to say that, because they don't play them. And you just said it yourself, like, they don't even use him, so...
Oh mate, you should have seen some of the people on Twitter, whenever it was, when Cleary, what's his name, Tom Morris came out and basically gave out the rumour that we were going to use pick 58, and they just had an absolute meltdown over Twitter.
Oh,
Like,
God.
pick 58, he's at least a second round. It's like, yeah, he is worth a second round. But that's a second round if he's playing like most weeks. And if he's in your finals team. And doesn't miss like the last like 8 games of the year or however many games it was. Like, it's just, it's crazy to me how some people can have certain opinions like that. And it's just like, at least not understand where it's coming from.
Needs to find a way into this game.
Yeah, well, that's it.
But like, would you think that Lipinski would go to North and pick 1 now?
No.
Yeah. And then you're saying, I mean, I remember hearing someone saying that, you know, that guy was a genius for trading Sherwood to the Bulldogs because it pushed one person out, and the one person was like Lipinski. So the fact that they capitalised on that one person being pushed out, that was the plan, like, all along.
Fuck
And
off,
I
it
just
wasn't.
remember, I just looked at that and I'm like, that's so good. Because obviously, like, they probably wouldn't have known that, but, like, the fact that it did work out like that, I just find really funny. With Patrick Nash, he can actually come as a free agent, so we don't need any picks for him.
That's it.
Yeah, so theoretically he's just basically a free agent. And there was a date for it too. It was only over like 2 days or something. I'll get the date up.
Critical stage of this one.
Of course I don't.
Fantastic tackle.
fuck.
The ball. A full body tackle. Goal scoring opportunity for Edwards. 20 metres from home. Wouldn't want to miss these opportunities.
Yeah, well that's true, Tom. That makes a good point.
Yeah, well, that's our main sort of like bargaining chip. To basically have him over. Is that I don't know if they won 2017 as well, but Fly coached the 2019 AFL
I
Premiership
think
side.
he did coach him in the VFL for that time as well because they missed out on the premiership in that year. They made the grand final, but they lost.
so they made it in 2017, but they lost it, and then they won it in 2019.
Pretty much.
Um,
Puts it on the boot. Coughed up by Edwards. I haven't seen him for a while, Gaz.
You're right, Hutto. He's gone missing lately.
Thumps it clear. Flossed over.
November 11th to 12th,
By his
so
standards. Normally a
in
good
about
shot on goal.
a month.
He takes the shot.
So, Collingwood fans, I got 2 questions. And Sean, you can answer this as well.
Yep.
Who do you think will play in round 1? And do you see Lipinski by Tuesday, Wednesday going to us? Or do we have to get him in the pre-season draft?
Uses it now.
Everything points to him being traded, coming through a trade.
Looks up with the kick.
I mean, I think even Graham Wright came in and said in trade radio that the preseason draft was an option, but it wasn't something that he had ever experienced before. So going through that process is something that he's not familiar with, but then also he's not afraid to go down that path. It really depends on how, because I mean at the end of the day it comes down to, we'll always put down our offers. It just comes down to Bulldogs accepting them,
Yeah.
accepting that offer. So yeah, I don't know.
Collingwood's underrated, yeah.
Personally, I mean I wouldn't mind the trade to go down because he is worth at least a second round pick, or maybe even. I mean, I think we'll look back on it, and even if we got him for a first round pick, I think we would look at that and go, at the time we probably looked at that and maybe it's a bit overs, but I think he'll actually be worth it. Because I personally rate him that highly. I think he's potentially he could be worth the first round. He's that good.
Yeah.
Because I reckon the second will come in, he'll be top 5 in the best and fairest. It's just that because Bulldogs shut the bed on it so badly, it'll probably be either pick 58 or it'll be, I mean, the rumour today was that it wasn't going to be pick 58 and that it was going to be a bunch of pick swaps.
Yeah.
So it was going to be certain picks, but it was going to shuffle everything around, which probably got Dogs more points. But I mean, we still get Lipinski at the end of the day. Well, I mean, yeah, it just at the end of the day they just didn't play him.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, they made their choice and they had 23 games or 23 opportunities plus finals to play him every game, and they only played him. I think it was 11 games in total, and the majority of them weren't even in the back half. So
What does that tell you?
Early on and stuff. Yeah, exactly. And then they want to come into the media and say, "Oh yeah, no, we put a 3-year offer in front of us." Bullshit.
Oh, the instant kicked him out.
Grimes works it from the back half. A race for the loose ball. Just gets the kick away.
Yes.
Richmond, they say a week is a long time in Gaz, how did you see that one play?
Teams are made in games like this. I know it can be a moment that takes teams to the next level. They put it all on the line, and they deserve to win.
I know.
The final scores, the Magpies accept
The internet kicked you out, mate.
Thanks to Gary Lyon for joining us. See you all later.
Well, thanks for having me. That's all we have time for. See you next time.
Yes, go the Pies.
Am I back now?
Yeah. Your internet must have kicked you out.
No, the PS4 PS5 went into S mode because I hadn't touched the controller for like 20 minutes.
Oh, it's alright,
Either
man.
that or it was the AFL media trying to get me. They were trying to shut down the the positive narrative. Yeah, so the conversation was just like at the end of the day they basically they made their choices and now they got to live with them and because I think at the end of the day like no one's debating that Lipinski's probably worth a second round pick and potentially I think even if we got in for a first round I think he would still make like the efforts he would do over the next 10 years that we would have him, he would warrant that first round pick.
Yeah.
But that's at the same time when it comes to the Dogs. They didn't play him, and if they made their bet, then now they have to lie in it. And the fact that they went to the media and said that, but we offered him a 3-year deal, doesn't matter.
That's alright. Do you think Patrick Nash will be a star at Collingwood? We give him more game time. Ooh.
Will he be a star? It's hard to say.
You're a big fan of him.
Yeah. He's well, for one, Patrick Nash is a sort of a... How do I compare him to? He's basically a small defender, but he can also play a bit in the midfield too.
Yeah.
So he's basically a defensive mid, like a small defensive mid. So say someone like a Noble, how he would have spurts in the midfield. I think Nash is someone sort of like that, but I think he's more of a midfielder than he is a backman.
Yep.
But I think, with the right people in front of him, he can probably develop his backline ability. But yeah, in terms of if you want to put him as like half back or in the back pocket somewhere, I think Quinn is the best one at that we have at the club.
Yep. I think the same.
Obviously, if we take out say Nash, probably Noble's in there, but I think that's where Nash is actually competitive.
Yeah.
That's around where he's sort of competing. It's sort of him and Noble are sort of like going back and forth in terms of who's better, and that's what that's where I feel like it'll start, and then it'll depend on if either of them have say an injury or something like that. Then obviously one will get the nod over the other. But I think Quinn is clearly our best player when it comes to that role.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then I think it'll basically go back and forth between both Nash and Noble.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kruger, underrated IQ, Isaac Quainer. Yeah, Isaac Quainer is very underrated.
Yeah. I think as well because, and it's probably best also make sure we have the right type for Kruger as well, because I feel like some people might be looking at this and going, shit, we just got this really good key forward, and they go, shit, really good key forward, oh, cloak. this dude's not going to be cloaked straight away. So that's, I think, something that we need to also understand and,
Let's be
like,
honest.
obviously,
He can. If he doesn't have to kick 10 goals a game. Yeah, all we need from him.
No one can kick 10 goals. Yeah, but like, I know what you mean.
Yeah, if he can. Because what was Travis Clark like, right? He can have 12 disposals and kick 1 goal 5. I'd rather have Travis Clark having 12 disposals, kicking 3 goals 2 or 3 goals 1.
Yeah.
That's what if I were to do my play previews when all this is over, start the new season, I reckon for Kruger, if I remember, I think what should be is that I don't expect Kruger to kick 10 goals, but as long as he leads at the
10
footy,
goals is too much anyway.
yeah.
You
But
shouldn't
if
be
he,
asking a player.
no, that's
You
it.
probably mean 6 goals, yeah.
Yeah, if he kicks 6 goals or 5 goals, whatever, if he kicks 1 goal 4 and having 10 disposals, I want him to not have 1 goal 6, but turn it into a 3 goals 2 or 3 goals 3. At least that way, you're making it a far better than rely on him to kick a bag every week just to win us the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when it came to Cloak, because, and I think Cox was probably also doing something too, where we sort of based his pass marks with, ideally, we were hoping he would kick 3 goals every week.
Yep.
That was the ideal mark. But there would be games where he would kick 2. So as long as he kicked 2 and then had, say, a couple of like assists when it came to going in, like, so if he had a couple of like goal assists, which even with like Cloak was actually a very underrated field kick too as well.
And he was a good contested marker as well.
Yeah. Oh, he was a fantastic contested mark. But you know, I think in terms of expectations, I think when it comes to Kruger, he should aim to kick 3 goals a game. But then if he doesn't, as long as he can get 2 goals, and then he can like give off.
Yeah, that's what I want him to do. I want him to do that.
Yeah.
Not, and the problem is with Cox, like people just bag him, and there's so much hate on him. I don't want him to kick 8 goals and dominate like he did in the prelim. I want him to, if he can't mark it, bring the ball to ground. Don't get outmarked in a marking contest. Keep your feet, be strong, and that way you can. That way you help your teammates a lot more.
But also as well, that's the thing is that if he's in a marking contest, you got to have the good small forwards around him to crumb the marking contest, and then you can get goals out of that too. I mean, that was what made us so
Good.
badly in 2018 was because, you know, you had Josh Thomas in career best form, you had you know, someone like Elliott, you had DeGoey, you had all these like guys that were roving Cox's drop marks.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Bella.
It was, and I think the best thing to, because I think one of the commentators that were even saying about it that year was that they've got like a forward line where it's a pick your poison type of forward line. It's like, do you want to? Obviously, it's going to be a bad play of work, but you know, do you want to be poisoned, or do you want Clean to you goal by a contested mark or a crumb goal or running inside?
Well, that's it.
You know, it's like there were so many avenues that we kick goals from and different ways we kick them. You know, it was never really predictable.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with us as well. Like us fans, and look, I can be guilty of at times. I put my hand up and saying that, but I think we just need to lower our expectations and just realise, look, he's not going to kick us a bag every week, But it's long that he's working hard.
I think also as well, not having Eddie there helps that massively too.
Oh
Because again,
yeah.
you have Eddie every week would always be hyping all this stuff up, and you'd be like, oh, like you know, like every week he's like, oh, such and such player's gonna get 40 touches, such and such player's gonna kick 6 goals, because he's trying to hype, he's trying to hype up the product. That's basically what he's trying to do when you know, obviously we know he shouldn't be doing that in the first place because, yeah, well, once you have,
Yes,
and
we're
this is
gone.
with anything in, Eddie Maguire. This is, and this is, you know, what happens in just any industry in general is that when you don't set the expectations right, it can also turn off a lot of people too.
Yeah.
And I reckon there was times where it would come down to just the wrong expectations were there, and also as well, and I'm sure, you know, even at times, maybe I'm probably, you know, guilty of this, is that we always take whatever they say at face value,
Yeah.
or you know, we always give them like the benefit of the doubt, when, especially with what was going on with Eddie, like a lot of the things, oh mate, like the Pies have definitely been, yeah, no, the Pies have been just as bad. The only difference is that we've actually had years where we've actually made finals. That's actually the difference. And I think having Eddie hyping us up every week is, I guess, good to a certain extent, but you
It
know,
can
if
also
you're not
be the
winning every
bad
week,
side of it as well. Yeah.
yeah, there's obviously cons to it as well. So I think just having that out, like having Eddie out the door now, and having a bit more of a realistic sort of standard put in place is going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
And then to have, you know, like even with like Quarter, like as much as I never thought Quarter was good for the job, but at least I can respect him in the way he went about it, because he was just quiet the whole time. Like, he did his moves, but you could have been forgiven for not knowing who Quarter was at times. And that's like something that Eddie like never did, because he was always in your face, whether it's in the media, being the president of Collingwood. It was just too much. And then especially this is how he is, like, yeah.
Eddie's two-sided, 50-50, nah. Nah. Far from that.
I think just in general, the fact that he is gone, I think as well, it's going to take a while for every Collins board to figure it out, because I've even been sort of like hearing a lot of like casual fans talk about all this stuff,
Yep.
and just the amount of like, I don't want to say ignorance, because you know, if you're a casual fan, you're not going to be looking up everything or like every article and stuff, but it's going to take a while for the real story to come out, and then for the casual fans to understand it too.
Yep. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But but even with like the board and stuff, I still have faith that we will go with another option other than Brown.
I got Ultimate on the PS4 chat, so let's see if you want. My phone's charging, Shannon, so I don't have Discord on my iPad. Might get you on later. Sorry, man.
No, but yeah, but like when it comes to it, I just hope that whoever we choose, we just don't pick Brown, because every time he's opened up his mouth, he's just stated obvious, like he's just basically stated the obvious.
Yeah.
And whenever it's come to someone to turn around to him and say, okay, well, what are you going to do? Everything that's been done before has been done, but what are you going to do now? And then you don't hear from him. So he's just sort of poking the bear at this point. And at that point, it's just like, he's only just teasing people that, yeah, he's only just teasing, you know, teasing people and just saying all these buzzwords to get all the families rolled up and to get them to support him. And the other
Yeah.
thing too is that he's got massive connections with Eddie too.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, I
Is
personally don't want him.
yeah, is Graham Wright better than that guy in your opinion? That's what Num plays just asked.
Yeah, in terms of what he's done, it's the one
Day
thing I will
Sammy.
say is this: it's a lot harder to say than you think because Ned Guy had Eddie to deal with, and Eddie gave him all these things to do, and basically said, "Yeah, get this done, get this done, get this done, or else." And it's just too.
It's just too much
To
pressure on
have
him.
more. That's it. Well, he didn't give him any flexibility.
Yeah,
Like
that's
even
it.
even with like the whole Beams thing, you know, he basically he went to Ned Guys like, I want them Beams in, make it official. In fact, now I was thinking about it a little bit before. I've even sort of convinced myself to do the same thing when it comes to the contract of Freddie Grundy, because there were times where he would be on radio
Yeah.
and he'd be like, all right, don't worry, Pie fans, you know, he'll sign, blah blah, all this stuff. And because he went so deep in the we got to keep Grundy, it sort of like played into, you know, I'm sure whoever's the manager of Grundy, I've no idea who it is, but I'm sure he would have played that into the negotiations as well.
Oh, for sure.
Because yeah, the other thing too is that we could have, especially with the year that Grundy could have paid, it would have sucked to let him go. But I can tell you now that, especially with the value on like how he was doing, it was probably best to actually call, well, I mean, it's going to be hard to know what the trade would have been. But you would have thought if Brody Grundy's going to Adelaide, what, that's 2 first-round picks, or at least a first and a second.
Oh, at least that, at least.
So you would at least like entertain that and then bring someone in. I mean, it would be hard to know who would. Well, would we have had Lynch at that point?
Yeah, I reckon we would have. If we had
Yeah, so-
anyone now, Bucks would still be coaching us. Now, I don't want Buckley's coach, mate. I'm happy.
I
I'm
mean,
happy
in
with
terms of
Fly.
his comment, I actually agree with his comment for one.
Oh, of course, if Eddie was with us right now, of course, Bucks would still be coaching us. But the problem is, there would be players that would be leaving. And and in a way, I'm glad Bucks isn't there. I'm glad Eddie's not there. Bucks had his opportunity. I thought 2 years and see how we go with that. But because of the whole, you know, that him and Graham Wright mutually agreed to part ways, I think that's been better for the club. It's given us fresh air. It's given us people that outside of the club, not just Collingwood people.
Yeah. Well, it's not in a sense where Bucks was with us for too long. I mean, you could even make the debate too with the fact that Bucks came in when he did. Like, he screwed up so much. Like, the fact that he came in and he wasn't fully developed as a coach. I mean, that's one.
Oh, of course.
We went way too early for him. At the time when Bucks came in, we had one of the best teams going around at that point. And you know, if you look at, you know, the Geelongs of the world and Hawthorn, how they did theirs, yeah, and obviously to obviously the recent memory of Richmond. Like, not every premiership was won like in a row. Obviously Hawthorns were, but Geelong and Richmond's, they didn't have their premierships in a row. So we had one premiership in 2010, We made the grand final in 2011, and then we had the whole and then Buckley took over. There was every chance if Malthouse stayed on, there was every chance that we would have won in 2012, 2013, and like in all those times. But then we had Bucks that was severely underqualified. And basically Eddie just wanted to get him in just as a PR stunt, basically.
Pretty much.
Because I think because his passion obviously was too much at the time.
Yeah.
And then just the PR of having Nathan Buckley as being coach. He probably looked at that from a business point of view. Yeah, Bucks should have gone to North, and he would have done the same thing.
And why did Maguire sack Malthouse? Well,
yeah, and then after, you know, he would have been there for say 4, 5, 6 years. Bucks would have got the cut, and then that would have been around about the right time that Malthouse would have finished up anyway, and it would have worked out. But Eddie couldn't handle.
of course not. That's what Eddie does.
He basically couldn't live out. He couldn't go into a season knowing the Bucks was available, and he. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, obviously Maguire rated Buckley too highly, so he probably would have got more teams now or nothing. It's like, well, no, like, because he was like, looking at it from hindsight, he was so underdeveloped it wasn't funny. So if he did that at North, if he wasn't a developed coach, he wouldn't have gone through as far as he did with us. So, you know, even if he was there for 4, 5, 6 years, you know, Malthouse wasn't getting any younger, but he still had a little bit of time left.
Can you please not spam as well? You only have to say it once. Sorry, man, it's just that speed of spamming going on.
I mean, to be honest, I could even make the argument to.
That's all, mate.
You know, it was the complete wrong call to make coach in the first place because he was so underdeveloped. It wasn't funny.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
But then even looking at it now, like, even if he was, you know, a coach where he was developed, I mean, even till like now, like, there was you know, players like Sear and stuff, like, he would have had players in that sort of like frame of mind. So, you know, all those moves would have probably still happened if it was a little bit later, because that would have came down to the dialogue, it would have came down to all the moves that they would have made at the time, like, and the choices that he would have made, they probably still would have been the same choices.
Oh, that's it.
The only thing is that would have been different is that he would have been a better player, better coach on field, and maybe tactically he would have been a little bit better.
Why did Cholo leave us? We got rid of him because of the salary cap issues that we had, and we had to go through the draft.
I'll go a bit more specific into it. Basically, the reason why we got rid of Cholo was because our cap was way too high because we paid Beams $800,000 a year. That was why.
And other players on top of that.
Eddie was the one that basically made that happen. So Beams got paid $800,000 a year
to do nothing.
Well, he got. Yeah. So well, how many years did he get? Did he get 3 years?
I think so.
3 or 4 years.
He was on a 5-year deal.
Was it 5 years, was it?
Who, Beans or?
Beans, yeah.
Beans, I think it was a 5-year deal.
I might see if I can look that up. But it was definitely $800,000 a year, and it was at least 4 or 5 years.
Because he would have been there since 2023 or 2024. Because we're paying like half his salary or
Ben
something.
signed a 4-year deal.
Punches it clear. Finding the loose ball was marked.
It's reported here that it was $500,000.
We're down to 2 minutes.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah, but no, but like it's been confirmed that it was 800,000 now. So whether they back into it or whatever to do that, yeah.
We didn't need to do it. We did not need to do that.
No, not for that price. No, like it would have been good to have him in, and he was definitely a piece that could have helped win the grand final. But the fact that we went out and not only did it, but the fact that we went out and did it in the aggressive nature that we did, it screwed us completely. Because his contract is now the reason why we don't have trouble. We don't have Stevenson and we don't have Flip. So.
And Atu Basavalaki as well.
Yeah, and then R2 as well. But yeah, but even with like Stevenson and stuff. They try to spin. They're not wrong with probably what they said with Stevenson, but.
Well, about the issues that he's had.
Yeah, I feel it's really hypocritical that like you're more than happy to go to bat for someone like Digawi, but then you're gonna like basically shame, someone like Stevenson.
Yeah, I agree, Tom, with that.
That's just the same.
I agree. Grundy's greediness didn't help either. 100%. He's Mark Order better than Eddie. Poor Mark Order had to clean up the mess that Eddie left. Let's be honest.
I will say this. I obviously at this point in time I like Order more than I do Eddie.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though. Like the thing that annoys me is that he was in the background the whole time. Like when all these deals were made, he was in the background saying, "Yes, Eddie. Yes, this is good, Eddie." Like that just it just makes me so annoyed. Just the fact that he was there and just patting him on the back and doing what he needed to do. Would he have been a better president than Eddie? Maybe, but like, the damage was done and we need to get out eventually.
Do you think that Eddie pressured the people?
Wait, so what was the question again, sorry?
Do you think Eddie pressured the board?
In terms of what?
To make these decisions? And if he didn't say yes, then...
Especially the Beams, yeah, 100%. Because, we obviously know the rumours.
Yeah.
And I reckon those rumours are true.
So do I.
And if those rumours are true, it gives so much context to everything that's going on. It's not even funny. Like even with the whole Beam situation with the Vikings and stuff, how they were trying to look for him because what was it? He hadn't paid off their debt or something like that, or he owed them money or something.
Yeah.
So they were out there looking for him at training.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We don't know for a fact if that happened or people with motorcycles came in or anything like that. But
surely people would have seen it.
Well, that's how it all worked out. Was the rumours were spreading and nothing. Someone put it on in a Facebook thing. I don't know if it originally came from Facebook, but I remember at the time there was in the comment section of a Collingwood post. Yeah, someone just flat out said about the whole Vikings turning up. And I think someone in a commenting saying like, oh yeah, alright, idiot, move on. But then yeah, he just replied back with saying, I'm not going to say anything more, just know that it's like true, basically.
Wow.
So, like that wasn't like word for word, but you could just, in the sense of how he was typing it all up, like he knew, like he was like coming from, like looking at back on it now in terms of what I know, it just looked like it just came from a thing where he just basically I don't know, like not like spewed out, but you know, he just said the whole story basically.
Oh, 100%.
You know, Trelaw and Stevenson was so, you know, dedicated to the cause, it was ridiculous. Um, do you think, like, but the fact that Grundy got his contract, do you think that's on Grundy or do you think that's on the amateur that got him the deal? Because,
It's on the club.
yeah,
It's on the club. It really is. Like, we didn't have to pay it.
yeah,
I guess I get why we had to, in a way, if that sort of makes sense. Like, oh yeah, there's a chance they would have left. Maybe we were more worried about it, but as I said to a Collingwood supporter, she's a female too. I even said, nah mate, Grundy just held ransom to the club because he wanted $1 million. He didn't want to give up half the wages just so he can get some success.
Yeah, I do think it goes both ways, because I think Collingwood enabled the behaviour, but then also, like, Grundy's not innocent either, or whatever his manager or whoever. Neither party's innocent, I feel, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, surely the club's got to look at that and go, okay, well, if you're going to be asking for this much, we just can't argue then. And then obviously we would have looked at it. Actually, what was Luke Jackson's draft year? Was that the same year that Grundy was out of contract?
Think so? Because you still had a year to go. I remember 2020.
Yeah, but yeah, like, you know, imagine that if we had done the right thing, Grundy went to say Adelaide, we then got a first round pick out and, you know, end up getting like a Luke Jackson. You know, that would have worked out extremely well, and like that, like we probably would have suffered a little bit because Luke Jackson had to obviously develop himself. But you know,
But it would have been worth it.
It would have been worth the pain. Or like it would have been. Or I don't think Cox would have developed.
Do you think we're going to do? Well, what? That's just going too fast. Hang on.
Would I take 2 first round picks with us? Hell no.
No. Do you?
You push the 2 first rounds up to about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then maybe I might consider it.
Do you think? Oh, you asked me this specific question. Do you think we are going to do what we did with Jeremy Howe?
And what's that?
What's that like? Have him in defence?
Well, I think Jeremy Howe probably plays just putting in the back pocket. There's not. I mean, he's a very good player at what he does.
So we traded him and get him back? No. No. Don't think we trade him to another club and then get him back.
Well, you just don't do it because
no, it's too much.
Normally, a lot more often than not, whenever you do that, it'll work. It's never as what it seems. Because it's always the nostalgia that kicks in. That's like, oh, the only one that comes to mind that worked was maybe Tarrant.
Yeah.
And that was only for a couple of years. you know, we only had him for what, 2 years, 3 years.
Pretty much.
A lot more often than not, when teams do go down that path, it's it's never a good thing, and especially with Eddie. No, Chris Tarrant.
Now, Chris Tarrant, mate. Chris Tarrant used to play for us, then Fremantle, then back to us.
Tarrant. You need to have a T on the after the end. But yeah, that's the last one I can think of that went to a club and came back.
Eddie Betts.
Or, I'm selling more from a Collingwood point of view.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I don't know, like, yeah, and I think Beams was the one, like,
Beams.
I don't think there was anyone in between Tarrant and Beams.
Beams was the last one, technically.
Yeah. But yeah, so when it comes to
Yes.
I don't even think he's playing for the
Beams has officially retired.
Yeah, I mean he's retired, but he's not playing locally.
No, I don't think so. He's doing
like,
painting thing.
and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing some like finger painting or something. Yep, 110%.
Yep, by earth it is.
But also as well, we don't have because of Beams, we don't have Trelaw and Stevenson and Flip as well too.
And we back-ended their contracts.
I probably wouldn't put R2 in that because R2, he willingly went with Steve-O to North, so I wouldn't put him in that bracket.
No, because he wanted more game time.
Yeah, and he wasn't getting it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Actually, how's he doing at North? Because I don't think he played any games.
Right, he played a couple, I think. Oh, need to check my phone. I'll just see if my phone's got enough battery, and I'll see. I'll try and look that up. Hang on, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he played one full season, and then he played about 8 games, if that, 7 games maybe, and then we never saw him again. So, oh, here we go. There's a text coming through. Okay, apparently, there's a report coming in because Essendon want to pick 27, and we wanted a future first at some point. So apparently we're going to do, apparently according to Pie Source on Twitter, apparently we're going to do pick 27, a 2022 second rounder. But that can't happen because we can't.
Ooh, pardon me.
Okay. Anyway, so pick 27 and a 2022 second rounder for a future first, which I think would actually be a good deal to do. But we don't have a future second round pick, so I don't know how that would get done because our pick is with Gold Coast at the moment.
So, what do
we
you...
actually already have the points. At this point, it's just making sure that whatever our third and fourth picks are, we're trying to get them as high as possible at this point. But I will say this as well, it's going to be so good getting Dacos around the third or fourth pick too. Because that's going to be massive. Yeah, but when it came to our future first round that was supposed to be for this year, we got so many players with that played really, really well this year. So without that first pick, you wouldn't be seeing like Ollie Henry out there. You wouldn't be seeing Finlay McRae. You wouldn't be seeing. Uh, God, Kev, help me out with the draft class that we got last year.
We got Reef
Like
McInnes,
Bo
McCreary,
McCreary as well.
Oliver
So
Henry.
there's at least yeah. Yeah, it was Oliver Henry, Finlay McRae, Reef McInnes, Liam McMahon, and Bo McCreary. So if we didn't trade the future first round pick, Holter, there you go. If we didn't trade that future round pick, you could very, very easily take about 4 of those guys off that list of about, I think, 6 players. So.
And
I
Caleb
don't know about
Poulter,
you,
did you mention him?
No, I didn't. But he's wanted it out now as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously not all of those guys came from the future first because we did have other picks.
Yeah, we did.
But at least 3 or 4 of those guys would have, but at least 3 or 4 of those guys came from the future first pick.
So what did you see on Twitter?
Oh, Pie Source came. There was the.
Hang on, I'll just look it up.
Yeah, no. Like I actually have it here in front of me. So someone asked him about, what was the deal with Essendon wanting, our pick 27, because that was a rumor that they were super keen on our pick 27. So he basically came out and said that we'll do pick 27 and a future second rounder for their future first.
Oh God.
But then, yeah, in saying that, we don't have the future second anyway because we traded it to Gold Coast. But at least it's good in the sense where at least we're trying to get up the draft.
Oh yeah. So Swans offered 2 new offers to Croswell, John Dawson. Hawks veterans were probably all on the trade table, and Tigers and Roos agreed to a great deal to swap Coleman, Jones and Tarrant, and Rory Lobb's potential GWS return caused a stir between Adrian and Fremantle.
Yeah. I just want to just quickly go on Tom's comment as well. Personally, I reckon Trelaw was actually worth the 900k, especially if he plays every game in a season. That's actually, cash where you're happy to spend for something like that, especially also because when Trelaw had 900k, he was actually he actually took not a pay cut, but his contract was more back ended.
Yeah.
Which basically means he took a lot more money later on in his contract. So early on he would have got, say, I don't know, let's just say for example 500,000. But then to even it out to, later on in the contract it was then 900,000 in the contract itself. So that's where that comes from.
Oh yeah.
Don't know how we're going to get pick 1, but I like your thinking. Because if you're meaning next year, I don't see us finishing last next year. And we definitely won't get it this year because we just don't have the picks to entice someone to go pick 1. That would be interesting because I mean Adelaide have what pick? Do they have pick 4?
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of fights going on.
Yeah, so
Cool.
there's pick 4.
And they want to pick
Which I
one.
think Gold Coast have got pick 3, don't they? So they got to go through North, Collingwood, Gold Coast, and then they have their pick at pick 4. I don't know, it's stressful times for Adelaide supporters, but you wouldn't. Like, I mean, I don't know much about him, so I don't want to comment too much, but is Jordan Dawson a very good player?
Yeah,
People have been
Sydney.
talking him up
He's
a
been
bit.
playing really well for the Swans.
Yeah, I'll try to get some highlights going. Apparently he came third in the best and fairest. Okay, well, that's something.
Okay, big change incoming for 14-day home quarantine. Oh, okay. Jack Cruz.
Yeah, I can see the two being hard actually. Yeah, right, I've seen him. He's good.
Also, Tom, and you too, Sean,
Yeah.
would you say to DeGoey Maynard and Darcy Moore and a few others to take pay cuts, or would you say give them the money that they're worth?
I mean, that's a conversation that the club has to have with them. I mean, they'll obviously know where the direction is heading.
But what's your
And
opinion on it? Do you think that they should be doing that to sacrifice a little bit more than you can give them the big
well, that's the
money?
thing. If we're legitimately contending for finals and a grand final, I can see Collingwood winning a grand final in 3 or 4 years' time. So if that's where you're heading, then yeah, you'd want to take your pay cuts, because obviously if you take a pay cut, you're then able to use that money for someone else that's, so you have a teammate that's theoretically better. Or just, slightly better. So personally, like, I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of discussions. I mean, the fact that Trade Radio was saying that that we were going to have, 3 players at $1 million, that's just not going to happen. So whether so whether if you have like Joey and Moore at 750 and Maynard at 650, that seems about right for those 3. I personally really, I mean, I think Maynard's a fantastic player personally.
And here we go. It's the Blues taking on Collingwood. Has it now. He gains possession. Jones moves it now. Takes a simple.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of I guess having the debate and seeing where their heads are at, because I mean obviously you got to sell them a vision. And you
Oh,
gotta
for
go,
sure.
alright, well, yeah.
As a man running for him, chose to kick it.
But I think as well,
Goes with the kick. Finds a bit of room.
yeah, but I think that's where the conversation comes into it, Tom, is that,
Needs a big kick. If he's going to this
you know, you could even maybe mention too, because like he's had some years where he hasn't really played like every game and he's been injured and things like that. So,
rough edges kicks it long.
you know,
That's
maybe
yeah.
the
That's
fact
what I
that-
was thinking. Like with that, he hasn't probably been out there consistently. Like he's played more games, no doubt, but he's been injured. He's had court cases to deal with. Like he hasn't had the concern that he sometimes doesn't play it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I reckon. I mean, a deal will get done. It's just a matter of how much they pay. But I don't see those three leaving anytime soon, personally. And I think because we've got a better sort of setup when it comes to making choices from the club. I think we'll be a bit more sort of like, not like ruthless, but we definitely won't be pushovers.
Because we can't afford to be pushed over like we did with Grundy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
And
time to stand up.
and that's where I think Graham Wright will come into it. And I'm sure we'll have all the right people to give all those guys all the stats that they need to perform, and then it's just a matter of getting it done.
Oh, for sure. Can I somehow kick this goal from the bounce? Oh, no, I'm not going to get it. But Finley McRae will. Mark it? No. I would say to Grundy, would you like to? You're still going to get offered $1 million for another, a couple more years left of your deal. Can you take a, $200,000 pay cut for full 5 years?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, we're gonna have to have those conversations with them, and as long as we're not being pushed over, I think. I mean, I would have the belief that we would come out for the better, but at the end of the day, you're just not gonna know.
Because let's be honest, if we want to be successful, if we want to win premierships and get that arrogance back in us, we're gonna have to start doing that.
Don't necessarily need arrogance. I mean, we can need confidence, but
I should have asked Lockie about that.
yeah.
Fuck, why didn't I think of it? What's that Numbs plays?
But yeah, I guess that's probably the other question too. Is that do you think all three will resign?
Yeah, I'm confident they will.
Yeah.
But next year we should aim for Trelaw and Stevenson for Grundy. Grundy bleeds money. Adam Trelaw bleeds black and white, same as Stevenson. Yeah, but that's not going to happen. It's
not gonna happen. You might be able to get Stevenson back, but even then, like, you'd have to be extremely it would have to be like the right time for it.
And if he wants to come
Um,
back, he may not want to.
yeah, I mean, we could have screwed him over mentally so bad it's not even funny. Like, there is a possibility where he could literally um, be in a place where he despises Collingwood now because of it. And I wouldn't blame him in the slightest.
No, I wouldn't either. To be brutally honest, no. I think we gotta stop doing that.
Well, the fact that Eddie's out now, I think you'll find we'll be making more decisions where we're a bit more level-headed with everything. And again, it's one of the reasons why I don't want Brown anywhere near this damn club.
No, 100%. If he does become president, okay, I will support that move. But I would not, I would disagree with it. But I want to see what he has plans. If he brings Eddie back, we are screwed. Forget 3 premierships in 6 years. Not trying to be mean or anything, I'll backtrack on that. If Jeff Brown brings in Eddie Maguire, we are screwed. Big time, guys.
The thing is that like Eddie doesn't really have to do much to get people on his side because people just take him at face value. And like, all he has to do is be on a TV camera and be like, I am a Collingwood person, you know, we want Collingwood to be better, Collingwood needs to be better, like just to say all the bullshit PR that he needs to speak and then people will just eat it up.
And that's it.
Like, it's, especially when it comes to the casual fans, it's not super hard to create a not conversation. It's so easy just to say all those things and then to have what needs to happen.
Even Lockie agrees. Have you watched back on that stream that Lockie did?
Which one?
The one he did, the emergency one?
Yeah.
Even Lockie agreed, yeah, and he was happy to see the back of Eddie. Even Bucks, like it's time for them to go and just get someone fresh in. And it's just like, if that's the Collingwood supporter saying that, what are the other idiots are gonna say?
Yeah, but also, I think a fan like us are gonna be looking into everything, and we're gonna be finding out what the context is and finding out what's actually going on at the club. Where you have a casual fan, it probably doesn't need to know a trade period or a free agency period exists, and we'll just turn on the TV whenever Collingwood plays, and then they just sit down and watch Collingwood play. So, but then those fans are the fans that, you know, potentially, you know, with Eddie, he can go, well, damn, if we can, like, give a good PR spin over this, we can have those people create, like, and then they can, like, create enough noise to where, you know, something can happen. But that's where we need to, as fellow supporters, we need to make sure that we're sort of, not like, I mean, we don't have to go out there preaching or anything like that, but just when people are like talking about things in the comments and saying, oh, you know, bring back Eddie, just reply to that comment and just being like, you don't know like what's been going on with the club, like you need to do your research, and if you do your research you'll find out that having Eddie back will be the worst thing for the club.
Oh, it is. So that's why, like, I hate those type of people, like, oh, bring back Eddie, or in Bucks we trust. It's like, well, Buckley doesn't even bother to make moves when we're struggling. Like, there was no plan B, there was no plan C. On top of that, so it's just like, Buckley will have more cattle at Carlton than he would at Collingwood. I 100% agree with Kane Corns with that. But I'm glad we got Flying, because then we can be a finals team. We can be have a dynasty on our own, and it's like, well, these decisions will be documented, and we'll go, right, these decisions in a short run have been the best decisions that we've ever made. Like, it's clearly obvious on that. But with Eddie, as much as I love him, he bleeds black and white, and that's a good thing, but also it can be a bad thing. The fact is that
but he's gotten to the point where he can't control his emotions.
yeah,
So
I 100%
Eddie's a
agree with
fan,
that.
But he's also a fanboy as well too.
Yeah,
So,
but Eddie needs to make those tough calls. And what I mean by making those tough calls is to say to Buckley, look, Bucks, as much as we love you, do you think you can coach for 5 years? If you can't, can we get someone else in? At least that way it gives us a fresh start. But whether or not he'll do it or not, who knows, because we all know how much Buckley love Eddie and Eddie love Bucks. Oh, fuck's sake.
Back in the middle now. Swanson. Adams gets on the end of this.
Pardon me.
Wiedering drops the mark. Picks up the loose ball. Grundy goes for it now. Smith had one before he earned through for a rush behind. Searching for a team.
but yeah, as I said before, as long as we're spreading
To gather the ball.
the context of everything, and the fact that, you know, we need to remind people that if they think that Eddie is a good option, we need to remind them that, you know, like, Eddie was behind the whole Beans issue. Eddie was behind literally shafting Malthouse to get Buckley in. If there was anybody that's ever thought the Bucks was a bad coach at any point it was underdeveloped, they need to be blaming Eddie for that stuff. Like, that's actually one of the other things too, is that there are people that will back in Eddie, but then they won't back in Bucks. And it's like, how do you think Bucks got the job?
So Eddie.
Because someone said yes. Who was the person that said yes, you can have this job? Eddie. So, like,
That's what so frustrates me as a fan.
and it's always the casuals too. It's always the people that always have the loudest saying things. But then they're, you know, like it'll be a thing of like you ask someone's like, oh, okay, well, like, you know, because they're such like a casual fan, like anything other than the basic questions, like they just can't answer it.
Yeah, I know. And that's why.
Oh, and then also, don't even get me started on people saying, "Oh, Eddie should be president because he's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire." It's like there are people like that out there.
Yeah, I know.
As much as we want to say that that's such a stupid thing to have as credentials to be president of the Collingwood Football Club, but to some people that is the thing. The fact that he's on hot seat, like, well, whenever I don't even know when the show is, but. Or like whenever the show airs, but like there are people that will like say that, alright, well, Eddie is because Eddie's on hot seat, I want him to be a part yeah, I wanted to be a part of, or being the president, or being on the board, or being associated with Collingwood. It's like that's not how it should be. Like, yeah, if you think that's what's best for the club, then you do not know what's best for the club.
No, 100%. Simple as that. AFL is a business. That's what it is now. On top of that, so 10 or 6, nearly 2 hours of streaming. So it's nearly 4 hours, man. Far out.
Hey, don't get tonight.
We're set to go at the start of the third quarter. The game is back underway. Grundy with a big fist on it. Murphy hooks it over. Intercepted. Weeder used the body to take that mark.
Yeah, if there's any more questions you guys want us to answer in the chat, please feel free.
Yeah, please feel free, like,
The loose ball scooped up.
as well on top of that.
Complete the mark. William dug out the loose ball. Great defensive effort.
Do you think we'll change our Guernseys
Opportunity once again.
to like our old Magpie Guernseys that we used to wear?
I don't really focus on jumpers that much. I mean, the only time I focus on the jumper is if I see it and yellow looks good. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look that good.
Back with another centre back.
'Cause I
What
mean,
about-
to me, like,
Grundy won the hit out.
what's that, sorry?
What about the old Magpie swooping Guernsey we used to wear
Oh,
back
yeah,
in?
no, that jumper's a very good jumper.
Lots of pressure out there at the minute.
Should we
There's
bring it
always-
back
if
for
there's-
AFL or VFL or both?
Grundy searches for a teammate downfield.
I mean, if you want to do, if the AFL wants to do like a what would it be called, like a history sort of like
Heritage
history
round.
round, or heritage round, that's right. Maybe use it something like that, but
I don't think that will. I think that's something that we can easily bring back ourselves. Like wear that Guernsey as a once off or twice a year Guernsey sort of type thing.
yeah, for sure.
Wear it against Geelong. Simple. Bring that back. And you can bring the white version of it as well. Because we haven't done a white version of it. I know we've done a black version of it. Oh, to go eat.
Collingwood have been poor with their ball use. They've turned it over on too many occasions, and it's allowing the opposition chances to score.
I haven't seen it for a while, Gaz.
So,
Considering the options on the kick-in. Plowman plays on. Goes with the kick. Gets into some space.
next year,
Slams it.
Yep.
I'll ask this to chat as well as you, Sean. Which team should we beat? Do we have to beat?
Some distance on the kick. The ball
Should we beat like a Hawthorn and GWS? Or should we beat Carlton or an Essendon
What do you make of the game?
and Richmond?
It's a really good contest out there right now.
I'm confused on the question.
Okay, which teams should we beat more, if you can say that? Hawthorn and GWS, or should we aim to try and beat Carlton, Essendon and Richmond when we play them? Because they're big games. Yeah, I get that, but
I mean, yeah. I mean, personally, like for me,
A chance to put a second goal on the board. From Martin, straight through the middle.
I mean, having like a good win over Carlton is always good.
About to resume play.
Like a team, like when you play like Carlton,
It's a free kick.
you play like extremely well. Like you beat them by like over 40 points. That's always a fun time.
We'll get a stoppage.
Beating West Coast is always good. Beating Geelong's always good.
Bounce. Works for May. He just parked it out there.
We need to beat them.
Celebrating.
Well, yeah.
Back in the middle.
I think Hawthorn and Giants, for me,
Minutes remaining.
they're biggest killers.
Caught in the tackle. And
Yep.
it's a
Um,
moves the ball by foot. Nice work.
we always lose to the Giants and Hawthorn. Like, I know we beat them last year, but we had the chance to beat them this year, and we just couldn't.
Yeah.
So, I think in that aspect, it's always good beating Carlton, West Coast, Essendon, and Richmond. Don't get me wrong, like, I love beating those teams. And I think because we have a good record against them, they're our they're our bogey teams that we love beating. But I think we need to also beat Hawthorn and GWS. Mainly because our last win against the Giants, can you believe it, 2018 semi-finals. That's how long it's been.
Opportunity for Drewski Seaton. Ball hits the deck.
And that was at the G. So,
Walsh will be upset with that.
Oh wait, are you talking about the Giants in the 2019 final?
no, 2018 semi-final we beat the Giants. So we lost to West Coast in a... Yeah.
What do you make of the game so
Oh,
far?
the-
I'm waiting for something to change the way this game's going now.
Because we always lose to those two teams in particular, we need to start beating them. So if we played Hawthorn and GWS twice, can we aim to beat those teams? And that way, because the players that have lost to the Giants and the Hawks are still there. So if we can get ourselves up to beat them, as well as winning every single week as possible, I think that would be better for us. And that's why I asked you guys that question, because I feel like for me, like Carlton, that they're just shit. Like, we're not going to worry about them. It's always good to beat them. But to beat the Giants and the Hawks, I think if we make that statement, I reckon we should be alright.
The Magpies will be looking to not only hold their lead, but they want to put this beyond doubts early and run away with a big win.
Oh, mate.
Alright, well, even someone like Murphy, do you see Murphy playing in the ones, or do you see him playing in the AFL?
Oh, I can't remember what I said in the play range videos. I want to see him play more than the ones.
Yeah.
I reckon he's courageous. I want him to look after his body a little bit more. I don't want him to get injured that he misses a long period of time as well. But if he plays VFL, I think it's, you're only playing him there in case we have an injury in the AFL or bad form. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
What about you?
I mean, with no injuries, it makes it really hard for him to get into the side. It also makes it difficult to know where he's at too, because we don't know where his best position is at. I personally think he should be similar to like Chris May, like maybe like a defensive mid, or someone that goes on the wing, because he does have a bit of pace on him. He's got a good marking ability. So I think wing is probably his best position. But as someone that just uses his speed he's probably maybe not, even though he has speed, he's probably not someone that probably takes the game on, but just how he also seems like he's not afraid to like play the senior role too. So like when there's like a lot of pressure, he's happy to calm it down.
Is he a medical sub in your opinion, or do you just, or is it just a waste of time?
It's best for me to not even think about a medical opinion. Sorry, a medical sub, because at the end of the day, that position could just go to anybody.
Yep.
I'll probably get on to the AFL and VFL teams and hopefully I can get that out in the next few days. Because I'll probably just redo it again. Like, it just seems like we just have too many guys that are just better options, and when you have, if you put him on the wing, like I mean at the moment, I don't think I've fully finalised my team yet. Well, actually, yeah, no, I think I have actually. But in terms of AFL Evo, I've got basically. So with Penbury, I don't even have Penbury in the middle at the moment. So I've got Grundy, Sia, DeGoey, Chris Adams, and then Lubinski. So I personally think that's actually a good midfield. And then even for like the back line, you got Penbury and then Main Howe. And then for the forward line, you got Elliot Johnson, Checkers, Ollie Henry, Cameron, and Dacos.
I heard a rumour, plays that Sire, there's no interest in him, so he might stay with us.
Yes, I think Sire will stay here. Because he spoke to Fly about where his future is at, and I think they both agreed that he's going to stay. So unless if there's like a massive play for Sire, I think he's probably going to stay. He probably hasn't heard my opinions on Sire as well too. I personally think Sire is going to be very, very good next year. And the fact that we've got Fly as a coach is going to do him really, really good.
What about Cox? Have we heard anything else?
Not really. I think Dogs had some interest at one point, but then I think Geelong had some interest, but it's all really low interest, and the fact that they're probably assuming we're just going to cut him as well too. A lot of people are thinking that we could probably just, or that they could get Cox through as a deleted free agent. So they don't. I don't think that they want to pay for him.
They can pay him half.
I know Brisbane are interested, but
they haven't really come out with a deal yet. Well, we have.
It will be players that will be delisted. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, I won't name any names, but like, just I don't know. At this point, just out of respect, because it's going to be done soon enough after the trade period. They'll probably announce about a week after, which is what they probably normally do. But
I think they're going to keep Cox, Sire, and Thomas. Yep.
Because we've only had Main, Greenwood, and Toadie retire. So that's only 3. Normally you have about 6 or 7. Yeah, about every year you only have about 6 or 7 guys leave the club for whatever reason, if it's being delisted or if it's retiring or for whatever reason. I would imagine that Nature would be a 5, just as you mentioned before. I think, with having Fly as a coach, they won a premiership in 2019 in the AFL. So yeah, I think that's where where we'll probably go before we pick up Nash, and we might pick up maybe another player if we do or not. I have no idea, but it just depends on our list spots, I guess, and how many players we can have. So I don't even think the AFL's confirmed that, have they?
For which one?
Well, I don't think they've confirmed what the salary cap is for next year.
I'm not too sure.
I don't think that I don't think they've confirmed the numbers either, because I mean, for all we know, they could cut the numbers. So they could force us to then cut players as well too.
B Carlton. 2-0. If they have, it's probably been less.
Yeah, well, normally every year there's always, I think there's about six or seven that normally always go out. You know, whether it's being retired or delisted. And then that's about as many as you get in the draft. So, or you pick up through trade and free agency. So.
So that is 16-point win. Would have been 22. I don't think it matters too much. But we'll see how we go.
Where do you think Nash up? We'll pick him up as a listed free agent, so we'll basically get him for free.
Yeah, pretty much.
My screen's about to flicker, so if there's no audio from me, that's probably why. But it's flickering, so I'm gonna just start plugging things in and out now.
Nah, it's all, man. Yeah, I know, but things can change. I don't think we'll get him either. Well, if we do, then who knows, but just have to wait and see. Alright, cheers man. Thank you for watching the stream. Appreciate that.
Alright, should be back now.
Alright, awesome.
Yeah, because it was flickering and stuff, so I couldn't even play anything, because otherwise I'll have to just keep pausing and unpausing it. Yeah, I mean, I think 40% is probably about right to get Nash. Because, I mean, it's not, like, confirmed or anything, but... Or probably, actually, it's probably more 60% if anything. Because I feel like we do have an upper hand, rather than, like, or over some other clubs, just because of the fly connection.
Yeah, I
we'll
think
see
that's...
how it all goes, I guess.
Do you reckon Noble will go to North Melbourne eventually? I don't think
What
so.
with his dad?
Tom asks, do you think
Yeah.
Noble will go to North Melbourne eventually?
If he's not getting a regular game, I'm sure he would have a discussion with his dad. Because obviously his dad's a coach. I would say no, but I wouldn't rule it out. Because I mean, if we sort of, if we only play him, say, say 10 games next year, if he goes through this, I've got Nage and Quainer that are, giving me pretty good competition for spots. I could potentially see him do that. Yep. Yeah, no, that's definitely the case.
Yeah, it is. Discord is on there, so Tom, if you want to join, please don't forget to join. I knew that because he's been in the rooms.
Yeah, I think didn't they have a whole segment on it? Because they have the whole like Marvel family thing. That's the Nobles,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, they had like a whole like, every family member is a version of like the Marvel team or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Pardon me. Do I think... Alright, fair enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a part of North. We don't really think about North over here, so.
That's it.
Oh, my screen's flickering again.
Harris Andrews. Oh my god. Alright, I'll just save this.
Was that a phone call?
No, I just saved the game.
Oh, I thought you said you'll take it. As in, like, you just had like a phone call or something.
No, not yet. Alright, typical. So yeah, Tom.
Yeah, well, apparently apparently the dad at the time didn't know that North was super interested in what was it, Cal that got betted by North.
But we
that
ended
was
up.
when
Yeah.
because that was when he was over at North. And apparently he had completely no idea that there was interest.
10:30. I might play one more game and I think I might end it. I think. What, 4.5 hours? Nearly 5 hours streaming.
Yeah, this was good.
tonight, Brisbane and Collingwood.
There's Bella. Right, it's a real Bella account.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I just checked that.
Yeah, no, every time that happens, then I gotta check myself too.
Yeah, because I don't trust some people.
I think it's just more that we've had it done to us enough times to where yeah, it's just annoying at this point.
Even the grads accounts, how many of them today?
Yeah, well, I mean, that boy would have took the guy about, a couple of hours to do all that stuff, so those couple of hours went down the drain, so hopefully to him it was worth the time, because to us it definitely wasn't. I mean, we just hid the accounts and he was gone.
Yeah, I think should be alright. Alright, so let's see.
Brisbane winning the toss.
I know Braden's dad was he was a good player in the Sandford, I think it was.
About to get underway. Grundy up to clear.
Because he's originally from South Australia.
To take them on. Goes by foot. A solid mark.
Don't know for sure if
Pretty good kick.
after that, but yeah, I know. Yeah, his dad was a good Sandford player.
On the way. The ball goes over the line. What can you tell us, Gaz?
There's some great skills on display right now. Great match.
Gardner just goes bang. Sharp puts on a big hit. And we'll get a
Now,
ball.
I would say my Discord channel are linked in the chat. You know I have underage people in there. You have to be like 15 or something or older to join Discord, so you won't be able to join Discord, unfortunately. That's their ruling.
Wait, who's this for?
The Discord?
Yeah. Who are you talking to about that?
Oh, none plays. Like, if you're underage, you're not allowed to join Discord. Which is fair enough, too. Yeah, it was.
Looks up with a kick. Steady hands there as he holds that one.
Ah, fair enough.
Loves the handball. Slams it onto the boot. Starcevic runs after this one.
That's a really poor finish there.
Yeah, no, we definitely have a few from South Australia.
Ready to bring it back into play. Decides to play on. Roughhead moves it now. Coughed up by Dallas Yeoman. Finding the loose ball was Lester. High ball says...
Okay.
Myercheck won it down. They can create from this. Plainer gathers it now. Henry with clean hands for a difficult bouncing.
Henry has bounced. He'll just have a second.
Still finding a way through.
He'll just have a third.
Yeah, even AJ and Kruger, or they at least played in the Sandford. Ahead of being drafted, but I don't know if they were originally from there. Because sometimes you can have players that will go to other competitions other than the
Yeah, pretty much.
picked up by in the AFL. I know that's really common in cricket. If you can't get into like a Sheffield Shield squad side, you go to another state. I had a couple of people that I know fairly well that did that.
I trust him.
Had okay careers in the end.
Oh, good kick too. Fine smart check.
Yeah, no, I'm not downing you, mate. It's just that if they play in the Sandford, doesn't necessarily mean they're from South Australia. but more often than not, it's normally the case.
From turnover, they just need to generate that into more scoring opportunities to be a big chance.
No, I trust you.
The kick from McCluggage. It's a foot race to get this one.
Yeah,
Decides
it's
to keep it alive.
all good,
Unfortunately, not for long as the ball goes out. The umpire will throw it back in. What can you tell us at this stage, Garrett?
I'm learning what this game is
Oh, hit
getting
the
shot
toes.
now.
Bailey got the hands free. The ball spills to Dallas Yeoman. Collects the loose ball.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Killen Stevens is actually from Victoria, actually.
Uncontested.
He was one of those ones where
50
he
metres out. Bit of an angle.
he was born in Victoria, but he grew up in South Australia.
Yeah.
Going for goal number one. Looks okay off the boot. Started the kick wide, and it never came back.
I mean, I personally think he'll be a good player. It's just that he's just not fully there yet. He's still got a couple more years to develop, but once he gets there, I think he'll probably be similar to like a Parish from this is my feel.
No, that's it. Like, it's... The problem is, like...
He was linked early on, but then he re-signed
Yeah.
with Sydney. Because there was Sydney have got a really tight cap at the moment. So because they had Hewitt and Dawson, maybe Dawson at this point, but they were looking at if those guys weren't going to go, then someone like just blanking on his name now, Stevens. Stevens would have gone somewhere else. And if that was the case, Collingwood probably would have picked him up because we were pretty heavily into him too.
The one thing I've noticed as well, like, I can talk about Collingwood and the whole Mark Corder situation, but then I can do a video and talk about it at length. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Because you're only there on... You can't be on there, like, for 20 minutes talking about it. You know, unless you have... Then, you know, you'll piss off a lot of people. But it's amazing that on how much videos that you know, you can talk about the subject and what you think, and then you can make a video of it, and you can have it 10, 11 minutes, wherever, how long you've got on there, and you can just mainly talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah. Just on the Stevenson thing as well too. Oh, sorry, the Stevens. I just want to just clarify that, you know, the only reason why he looked for other options was because of the cap. By all reports that was said. He was always going to re-sign. It's just that the cap itself made it a little bit more. It basically made it a little bit more drama than it probably had to be. But the fact that, you know, they had to get rid of somebody, and the fact that Hewitt and Dawson made it clear that they wanted out, that then opened up enough cap room to, you know, also have Stevens as well.
Oh, that's
So
it.
in the end, he never wanted to leave, but if he was, he probably would have chosen Collingwood. Because I think, like, there are some players out there that still want to, like, once they get drafted to a club, they don't want to leave because they want to be a one-club player. So that could have also been a factor too, but, yeah.
Alright, see you, mate.
All good, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate ya.
Collingwood grumping about early, and I bet the coach will be happy with this lead at quarter time.
Jeez, I'm killing Brisbane at the moment.
Contested possessions, they just need to convert that dominance into scoreboard pressure.
Thanks for that.
Oh my god.
So,
The siren sounds.
when we can go to the footy, and if I'm going by myself, I'm going to try and do match day vlogs.
Forward. Hoskin Elliott wins the foot race. Hoskin Elliott
Yeah.
I'll try and do it, yeah.
channels a long kick.
Yeah, I'll try and do it myself, but it's gonna be hard for me because I'm gonna be working at the same time too.
Yeah, that is
'Cause,
hard.
I'll have, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about that will make me, or that would make it hard for me to do it, but
To gather the ball. Penetrating
um,
with the ball now.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd get in some, like, I don't think I'd get in trouble, but like, I think it's just people will look at it and they go, oh, it's,
I've done that
if
and
they
said a
heard-
thing.
yeah. Yeah, they'll probably look at it and go, oh, you're supposed to be doing this instead of doing that, and it's like, oh.
5 metres out.
No, I've
But-
done it. I know other YouTubers that.
Over the top of the pack. But this will certainly test him from this distance. Cox has a chance to put a second goal on the board. Through for a point. Andrews will bring it back into play.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do the same. If it's 100% capacity. 50% was so hard.
That one. McStay to take the free.
Especially,
Takes a few deep breaths.
that's why I haven't been going to the Big Bash when it was in Melbourne. It's just so hard to go to.
Chose to kick it. He gets above the crowd. Moves it on.
Yeah, I mean, if we're able to go, there's every chance I'll be going.
Chooses to play on.
It might be night games by myself, day games potentially.
Somehow got the ball out. Sig.
That's if I'm going out with the carer, then that's different.
Up Brown.
Yep.
Opts to play on. Picks it up. Takes a strong mark. He takes the shot. Hoskin Elliott sinks the kick, and it will be coming back. That kick goes out on the full.
I like Tanu, she's a good fella.
Takes a simple grab. Andrews drives the kick.
Yeah, no, he seems pretty good. Yeah, he's the dude that's in the,
Kickable by his standards.
it's called Chad, isn't he?
Yeah, oh, he's not on mine, but I've seen him on others.
Oh, what am I thinking of then?
Kick goes out on the full from Degoe.
Caver and Shannon.
A low stabbing kick. Ball off hand.
Yeah, Cable was the one that messaged me. Yeah, because I was up at like 3 in the morning, and he like sent me a message just randomly, and I'm just like, oh, hey mate, how you doing? It's like, hang on, isn't it like 3 AM over there? It's like, yeah, it is. I'm still awake. Because I was planning some stuff out and I just lost track of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a bit of a chat, so.
Hey, he's a nice guy, Caver. He's a nice kid.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him, the way that he got treated in Swoop Luke streams. On what they called him.
Yeah, so he was the kid that when I don't want to say what it was, but
Nah, same
I think
here.
it's probably best to ignore what what it actually was. But basically, he just had a bunch of mates that were
Making
saying
fun
what
of
he thought
him.
was okay.
Yeah.
but it was a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the same. Yeah, okay, we're talking about the same person. Alright.
Yeah, and then Swoop Luke had a go at him, and which is
Yeah,
fair enough.
no.
Like I do the same thing too. If I was doing that and I saw that, I said no, we're not going to repeat it. Like it's not going to matter.
Yeah. And just in saying that too, if we do get anything like that in the chat, I think,
Hide him.
yeah, I don't even think timing them out is probably even worth it.
Obviously, I'm gonna say something if that happens to mine, so don't you ever dare say that again.
Yeah.
Keeps it moving. A good mark.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Half time arrives, Gary. What are your thoughts on the first half?
No, because he went off like from 0 to a billion, like real
Yeah.
quick.
Oh, which is fair
And,
enough. Like,
and like deservedly so. Like,
oh, I would have done the same thing too, man. Like, don't worry. If I see that, I say, oi, you cut it out now.
The long break. The second half just moments away.
We don't need this type of language here. Oh. Nah, that's why I don't like when people are like that, because I know that they just cause trouble. Mainly on that.
Settings in the second half. Back in the middle as the Rucks go at it.
It's been a clearance game, and right now Collingwood are on top in that area.
Winning the ball in the air was Hoskinelli. Hoskinelli has resources.
To Grundy.
By Grundy.
It's...
Goes for the goal.
No, I do remember that because I was watching that as well, and it's just like, I should not have said it.
A stab kick from Gardner. Easily takes the
Because Kava asked me those type of questions on Instagram about it. I said, mate, it's racism what they say to you. You shouldn't allow them to do that. Tell them off. If they don't like it, say something. Because you got a voice. Like, nobody deserves it.
nah, but I think for someone like his age, like, I'm assuming he wouldn't know much. Or too much. And then it's like, it's a thing of like, you kind of don't want to say anything because you don't want the backlash, and you don't want the, or not the backlash, but you don't want, like, you probably just want to keep the peace, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So like, you kind of just, in a sense, you kind of suffer in silence when,
anything standing out at the moment for you, Gaz?
you know, that shouldn't be how it should be done. You know, you need to be calling that stuff out. And,
No, you
but
have
then
to
again,
call it
yeah,
out.
because he's a kid, he's probably, you know, lacking in confidence and things like that. But
I think he's 16 or something.
okay. Well, even so, like, you know, if you're a kid, like, I mean, I wouldn't obviously know anything to that extent, but, you know, having to grow up in a way where you get discriminated like that, it would be hard to know what to do as a kid, because, you know, you're trying to find your way in the world, let alone trying to figure out what to
Oh, that's it.
do when those things come your way.
No, I think as well that's best thing that Luke's ever done, because we had to do better report too. That was the issue. So if we ever did see it, it's better to call it out. Oh no, fuck that one up.
Chris kicks it out, and the ball will be coming back. He slams it towards.
That's a goal.
That is a stunning goal. Berry couldn't be happier with that goal. Back with another centre bounce. Punched away. Handball away. Here's Gansworth, shuffled up by McCluggage. Hoskinelli got him high there. McCluggage with a spearing kick. McCartney has it. 45 metres out. Going for goal number one. Offline or behind. A goal there could have got them going. Brisbane reduced the margin. Ruppin players move.
So yeah, I'm just glad I haven't had that on my stream yet. And if that ever does, I'm sorry, I'm going off my head.
Inside the opposition forward 50. If they continue to get beat in this area, they'll find it difficult to keep the lead.
Sharp didn't mark it. To go in.
Yeah, I don't know how I would react.
Well, he hasn't had the impact we were expecting.
Doing well to intercept
Just
that.
hope whenever it does happen,
Takes the
I'm willing to call it out.
Mycheck plays on.
If I'm on your live stream and that happens, and I see it, I will call it out.
5 metres out.
Yeah. Yeah, and just hide them as well too, because
Yeah.
He decides to
people
go
like that don't
Collingwood haven't been able to set up any set shots at goal, but I'm not
otherwise
sure
you consider themselves lucky if they get the touch.
And now we'll have a ball.
Well, that's it. Like everyone,
Thomas Cass.
there's not enough effort out there at the minute.
yeah. Just because I got a disability doesn't mean like I deserve to be treated like shit as well. Like
Time's drying up.
on top of that, so it goes both ways. So I know how that feels like because I've had that happen, and it's like it's not a good thing. Obviously now when you're more older, look, that's people's opinions, but they don't know the real me in a way
Looking to kick going up.
to censor that. Oh, I missed it. I just hit post.
Now plays on. He looks like he needs a spell. Get it.
Even like you've really got to be careful with everywhere you go as well on that.
May goes for home.
Main score. Fuck yeah. 4 people in the chat.
Acknowledges the
You guys have been legends tonight. All of yous. I don't know if I stream tomorrow.
Well, you've actually gone up to 133 subs. You've probably gained what, about 4 subs in the last few days.
Yeah, I have. Thank you, Bella. Yeah, I added one earlier today.
almost cut it off. Control well off the bounce. Rush
Oliver Henry to Mason Cox. And a goal to the Magpies.
kicks his second. This kick stretches the lead. He loved that one. Collingwood doing well at the moment.
Yeah, it's alright. 5 people, 5 likes. I know I like my own stream, but yeah. Pretty much. Thoughts on Sam Petrest and Seaton? Don't know about you, Sean, but what's your thoughts on Sam Petrest and Seaton? I like him as a player. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's good. I mean, I think we've said so many times Carlton are not good at developing players, they're only good at playing players.
Score when you're always on the front foot.
Much appreciated, Gaz.
It's going to be interesting if not only Sam, but it'd be interesting to see if Petrovsky Seaton can not only get a game every week, but if he actually gets better.
Oh,
Because
fuck yeah.
if he does, then I think that just shows that Carlton have the ability to not develop, and the only thing they can do to get a premiership is with a certain green paper.
Well, that's it.
He's got the football now. Neil looks in need of a spell. Goes by foot. Danaher marks uncontested.
So going this last quarter, looks like all
Kicks hard.
Grundy. I kicked back, which one I didn't need to.
Nice mark under pressure.
I think it's
Goes with the kick. McCarthy with
35 points, kicks distance 29. So I might be on the way for another win, another 50. Fuck, didn't need to do that. So after this game, I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah, I heard about that.
about to resume play. Winning it was Grundy. Loses control of the ball. Robinson just gets it onto the boot.
Yeah, so what did Jeff Kennett say in the email though? Did that ever come out?
Hits him hard. A poorly executed tackle there.
Well, there's a potential chance that
Looks to move it by foot.
Hawthorn plays that Hawthorn might target to get rid of some players, and Sam Mitchell wants to get rid of a few as well because he doesn't trust the new people involved. So
Yeah.
he backed down on it, but we know what Jeff Kennett's like. But nobody's getting traded yet, as far as I know. We would have known about it. Blah blah blah. It's just like, yeah, mate. You like Eddie McGuire. Oh yeah, he's like Eddie. Always, he's such a big voice.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, sorry, I don't know any bits of information about that about my club. But dude, you're the president. If you don't know, nobody knows. Like, if you don't know, then that just shows that you're either not doing your job, or you're just the biggest liar on the face of the earth, and we know what the answer is.
Yeah, I'm the same, man. Like, no wonder why I got sick and tired of Eddie for a while, and it's just like, oh, shut up, Eddie. Yes.
Yeah.
Under pressure, it keeps it alive. A long driving kick. A strong pack mark. Answorth kicks it. De Goey determined to wreck the ball. Interesting handball. Alice Yolver sends it clear of the contest. He lays off the pass. Has it now. Gets it away under pressure. Dug it out.
Yeah.
Lost it early, marks.
I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow.
Wants to play on.
I gotta go out tomorrow and get some stuff.
Decides to keep
Well, click and collect.
off hands. Andrews not getting much of a catch.
But yeah, I don't know what time I'll be up in the morning for that. 35 points. Oh, who's got it? Oh, Pendlebury, right for goal. 41 points, game over.
Just 2 minutes on the clock. Tap down. Finds the loose ball. Keeps it moving. Quick hands. And they could be away here. Raider throws the ball away. Gets onto the kick. Bailey does well to mark. Gets a hand to the ball. Ridge can send it back. Handball's out in front. Andrew wins it.
Yeah. So in terms of Mitchell and O'Meara, what are your thoughts? Like, I mean, should we entertain the fact that we should go after them, or?
No. Personally, no.
I mean, unless if it's like a really cheap, like, I don't know, using a pick in the 50s or 60s, like, I wouldn't touch either of them.
Getting in the way was Hawks. We'll get a stoppage.
No. To be honest, no. And if we do,
Takes possession.
I swear, I'll do a video and probably rant.
There'll be a ball up close to goal.
That's just my opinion on it. Look, as much as I like Jago Mira and Tom Mitchell, I just think it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Their age bracket as well.
Cleanly picked up. He can take off after that.
Well, yeah, they're at
Gets the ball out of
the end of our age bracket, which we can go out after and get. So,
Gets a touch to the ball. Matheson releases the ball.
yeah, no, I think we should say well away from
Richmond can have them.
Back in the middle. Taps it down. The loose ball picked up.
them. Yeah, I guess so.
Strong with the body and wins the.
No, it's going this.
Elliott kicks it out of bounds on the ball.
So, nearly 5 hours of streaming, guys.
The ball.
already. Fucking hell. This gets that good.
Elliott going for number one. Kick connects with the post. Inaccuracy clock.
Collingwood have turned it over too often today. They aren't coping with the pressure. They should try and slow it down and control the ball for a moment.
Flicks it over. To go. He gets in the way.
To go. Let's see how the mark.
McRae keeps it in play.
McRae dropped the mark. Doesn't matter. As long that we can get inside 50, it's alright.
I'm waiting for something to change the way this game's going now.
But like, if you had the option, which play would you go to? Would you go to Amira or
Mitchell.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'd probably do Mitchell as well. Just purely off the fact that like I haven't heard of Amira that much like since he's left Gold Coast, and when he did come to Hawthorn, like everything about him was like, oh, this guy's injury prone.
Mitchell did have a broken leg too, but I think,
Yeah, but that was a one-off.
yeah, it was.
He hasn't had anything since, I don't think.
That was a Sydney
And it was a freak
incident
accident too, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It was like a training drill or something.
Yeah, it was really a freak accident. I heard about it when I was watching Collingwood training. I seen it on Facebook, like, what the fuck?
Oh man, that's so good. Yeah, I might see if I can stream like later tomorrow night. I've got some work on, but I might be able to squeeze a couple of hours in at some point.
Alright guys, what a win by Collingwood. Unfortunately we're coming to the end of the stream. Please check out Ultimate Greatness' YouTube channel as well. Like, comment, share and subscribe to his channel. He makes some great content. Also Twitter and Instagram as well. If you guys haven't liked the stream, please like the stream, please comment, please share, please subscribe if you haven't. There's plenty more content. Check out my YouTube channel tomorrow morning. I've got some great content for you guys to come up, and it's Trent Bianco's player ratings videos as well, and there's more content coming. On top of that, I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. That's a bit iffy at this stage. It's 11:06, nearly 5 hours of streaming. Can you believe it? It's been massive for me. Haven't done much today. Just went for a walk, just to really free my mind a little bit. So that's gonna be the end of it. For more AFL Collingwood content, it's coming up as well. Now, when the trade period finishes, I'll be talking about that as much as possible, and what Collingwood have done. I'll talk about our draft picks and all the rest. And also check me out on Twitter, Kev's Magpies, and Instagram as well, Kev's Magpies. I know my Facebook's connected towards it, but I had changed the top to Kev's Magpies. And on Twitch as well. I'm also on, I think that's about it. But until next time, thank you and good night. Alright, ending it now.